Allah, 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 Allah.
So they go to the asbab, causes, and they rely on it, and it's become their lords. So instead of having patience, you start to look for other causes and means, so you lose the connections with the sabr, and you become a slave to the means. A man, he stood beside the great saint Shibli, and he said to him, what is the hardest patience for the patient ones? Patience, is a variety, it's not one kind. He answered him, الصبر في الله تعالى. الصبر في الله.
Patience in Allah.
Patience in Allah. This is the hardest for those who attain the state of patience. This is the Shibli answer. The man, he said to him, no, it is not so. He said to him, as-sabr lillah, patience for the sake of Allah. So the first one he said, patience in Allah. The second one he said, patience for the sake of Allah. The man, he said to him, no, it's not right. He's asking a question, but he knows what he's trying to get. So he said to him, as-sabru ma'allah, patient with Allah. He said to him, no, it's not so. Shibli, he became very angry. So, and he got very upset, and he said to him, when is sabr? Patient. So he said to him, the man, as-sabru anillahi azza wa jal. Patience, anillah, meaning on being distance from Allah. That is the most difficult sabr. And the Shibli, he gave a shriek.
Yes.
And he fainted. He said, nearly he died. So he knows all this sabr, and he never thought of that one. The sabr anillah. And this is where, it's actually this maqam, it is more of a sadness state. And that is why you find, for example, if you open the Mathnawi, open any of the great Sufi saints in their poetry, you find all longing for Allah. Because they are, as a human, you have your place here. You cannot, there is, slave is a slave and God is God. So that feeling of the separations, sabr anillah. Another saint of Allah, they asked him about it. He said, patience is to to be focused on doing what is required from you, and to be aware of that which is you should not get yourself engaged in, and to continue implementation and doing that which is required from you. Was-sabir, the one who is patient, he's the one, he's patient for the sake of Allah. And if he is, then he will not have fear, and fear never take hold of him. So this is sabr, this is patience and trust in Allah. There's a poetry here. I trained myself to be patient, and I did not allow your love to see my patience. So I am patient, he said, but I did not allow my patience to see my love for you. And I hidden that which in me from you, and hidden from patience. He has patience, but the patient is put in its place, not interfering with anything else. So the patient doesn't even know the love which is in his heart. He said, because of fear that my conscious, dhamir, conscious, this is actually like a nafs al-lawama, the complaining self. Of fear that my conscious will start to convey secret to my eyes, and then my eyes, or from that secret, will start to, the tears will fall without me controlling them. Make sense? So he's saying that I'm afraid that myself will complain to my dhamir. Dhamir is the, when you say a person he doesn't have remorse, that means he doesn't have what he's lacking.
That conscience.
No conscience. وَقِيلَ الْمُصَابَرَةِ, meaning the essence of patience, it is the patience, to be patient, till you drown yourself in patience, inner patience, then the patience, it become incapable to stop patience anymore. Amazing words, eh? This is because there is sabr and musabara and all kind of, it works on the language itself. But we could see, for example, we talked about it once before, that the holy man, the great saint of Allah, Al-Khidr, the man who Prophet Musa, he was looking for him down on the Red Sea, try to find him, to learn from him. But because the Prophet Musa, he's a messenger of Allah. He is in a program of do this, but don't do this. This is right and this is wrong. And the other one, he works from the alam al-ghayb, the realm of the unseen. So he sees events before they happen. So when he requests, it's in Surah Al-Kahf, requested from Prophet, from Al-Khidr, that he to travel with him and to learn from him. And he looked at him and he said to him, I don't think you're going to be patient with me. He said, in emphasis that he said, I will be patient. The rest is history, because he wanted 3 trials. And each one of them, from the first step, he went, they got on the ship, he made a hole in it, he started to complain. He said, what you did is wrong, you ruined people's boat and they are giving us a lift, to cross the sea for free. And instead of giving them something, you made a hole in it. He said, you see, I told you from the start, you cannot be patient with me. Then he remembered again. That's the Prophet of Allah, great Prophet and Messenger. He said, oops, I'm really sorry, okay? Give me another chance. He said, okay. So they crossed over, and then he found nice boy playing around, and he's this man. He grabbed him and killed him. That's really disaster. That's why he called it, he said, you killed nafs, meaning the spirit, without the rights it required that to kill him. So he told him again, he said, you see, I told you that we cannot get along. So he said, all right, please forgive me. He said, if I tell you one more time, don't allow me to go with you anymore. So they arrived to a town. They were very hungry, tired. People, they were very inhospitable, rotten type of communities. And he, instead of, just sitting, he started to find a wall, so he started to fix it and build the wall, right in the middle of town. Fixed it up and all this, and spent a few days working on it. And without anyone's actually bringing them any hospitality. And you say, look at these nice people here. They look very holy. Let's, building the wall, fixing it up. Let's give them some water, some food. Nothing. Prophet Musa, he got really lost his...
That's cool.
Lost his cool, yeah. So he mentioned the unmentionable. He said to him, if you want, you could ask for money for doing this job. So he said, that's it. هذا فراق بيني وبينك. This is the separation between me and you. And now I will tell you why that you did not have patience with me. He said, as for the boat that belonged to very poor people, and this is the only boat they have, and there is some rascals, he takes any boat which is in good quality, he takes the boat. But I made that hole so a little bit of water gets in, and when he see it, he thinks, this is not good. So he will leave them. He will not take the boat. As for the son, that boy I killed, he said, that boy, he's written in his destiny, he's become a tyrant. He become horrible persons. And his parents, they were good people. So I killed him so that Allah, He will. He said, I did not do it because of my own. So that's the difference. You know, some people is actually, they have an argument regarding this. They say, can anyone just, you don't like some rascal, you say, well, I killed him because I knew he's going to be a very bad person. And, he said, the mashayikh, they said, if you are like the Khidr, you could doing your prayer on the water with your, because the Prophet Moses, he found him with his prayer mat floating on the water and praying there. So we say, if you are like him, you could do your prayer on the top of the water then. So there is actually in the fiqh, in theologies, there is a chapters which deals about this particular factor of the killing someone because of knowledge of the unseen. He had the knowledge of the unseen. He knew. And it has been said that when he returned, he showed him in the bone, written right inside the bone of the child, he will never be a believer of God. So this is something, this is divine interventions. It's not something that you do because of your own self. As for the wolf, he said to him, that's belonged to orphans. And their parents has buried a treasure for them, that when they get old, they will look for it and they find it. And if the wolf falls down, other people take. And many stories about this treasure. Some people, they say it is gold and, diamonds, rupees, and this and that. And some they say it is golden tablets with a lot of wisdom written on it. So the treasure was a wisdom written on a few good blocks of gold. So you could write the wisdom on the paper, and then you could sell the gold. But so he could not do so. The reason Sayyidina Musa, he overlooked one thing. He said, you will find me patience. So he could not.